And I have not commanded thee, but be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither thou be dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee wheresoever thou goest.
Wherever you go. The Lord thy God is with you wherever you go. Now, this is a commandment, you know what I'm saying, that he gave to all of us. He said, be strong and very courageous. Be not afraid and be not dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And that's one thing that y'all gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to learn that at an early age. Even if you wasn't in this truth, you would have to be strong and courageous with everything you do, because we surrounded by a world of doubt, a world of disbelief and unbelief. How do we know that? Because we're surrounded in a world that people don't keep commandments. The reason why you keep commandments is because you believe. So we're surrounded by unbelief. So you're gonna have to be extra strong in this truth, man. Because that's all you got around you is people sowing doubt, people sowing disbelief, people saying you can't do this, you're unable to do that, putting their insecurities on you. You gotta understand, we were raised by parents that put off their insecurities on their children, and they passed down insecurities from children to children. So it's natural for us to doubt. It's natural for us to not believe. It's natural for us to be insecure. But we got to put off that old man. And the Most High said, have I not commanded thee to be strong and of good courage? It's going to take a lot of strength, Judah. It's going to take a lot of boldness. It's going to take a lot of standing up. It's going to take a lot of overcoming your fears, man. You see that? Right, so give me that, Judah.
It's the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, and verse 23.
Read that.
And they told the king, saying...
1 Kings 2 and 23?
Yeah.
You sure that's 1 Kings?
Yeah.
2 and 3?
2 and 23.
Give me 2 and 2. 2 and 2. 1 Kings 2 and 2 through 2, 3.
Okay. Okay. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, and verse 2 through 3.
Read that.
Now I go the way of all the earth.
Right?
Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
That's what a father teaches his son. Be strong. You hear that, David?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be strong, man. You know, it's gonna take man, the man of the Lord, to turn this thing around. Read it again.
I go the ways of all the earth. Be thou strong. Therefore, and shew thyself a man.
And show yourself a what?
And shew thyself a man.
And show yourself a man. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God in his ways, to keep statutes and his commandments, judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in of the law of Moses, that thou may prosper in all that thou doest.
That thou may prosper in all that thou do. It's going to take a lot to be strong, to keep commandments. In this wicked and perverse generation, could somebody give me that precept? In the midst of he said the Most High know where he put us. It's going to take
It's a mystery, Jewish.
It's going to take every ounce of strength within you to keep these commandments in this wicked and perverse generation. You're going to be walking around. You're going to be the only young ladies wearing hair wraps when the rest of the young women showing their ass. You're going to be the only young man carrying around a Bible, wearing fringes when everybody else got their pants sagging, smoking. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be swimming upstream in the world that's dying. You're going to be a light surrounded by darkness, man. You're going to have to be strong. You're going to be the odd man left out while the multitude is wicked, man. You got that, Shanetta? You got that, Joshua? Hold on. Give me the next precept. Give me Proverbs 29 and 25.
Okay, that was my next precept.
Bring it up.
Okay, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 25. The fear of a man breedeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe.
Read it again.
The fear of a man bringeth a snare.
The fear of a man bringeth a snare. Man, fear entrap you. You see that fear stop you. You hear that, Shanetta? Fear will stop you. Hey man, you start letting people put doubts and disbeliefs on you. It'll stop you from doing what you set out to do, what the Lord told you to do. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do this. Hey, the fear, read it again.
The fear of a man bringeth a snare.
The fear of a man bringeth a snare, right? Give me Philippians 2:14. That's what I wanted, man. Philippians 2:14. Watch this. I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you.
Want to grab it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, Philippians chapter 2, verse 14.
Read that.
Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that they may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
In the midst of a what?
Crooked and perverse nation.
That's where y'all at. That's where we at, y'all. We're in the midst. We're in the middle, right in the middle of a wicked and perverse generation where people think it's strange that a man sit around the table and preach the Bible. It's more common for a man, a so-called black man, to be out there selling drugs and hoeing his sisters. That's normal. But they think it's strange for y'all to wear hair wraps and dresses. They think it's strange that y'all don't do what the rest of these young floozies do. They think it's strange, man. Why? Because this generation we in is wicked and perverse. And you gotta be strong, man. You gotta be strong as an ox to survive this stuff, man. Give me 1 Samuel 17 and 32, man.
1 Samuel 17 and 32.
I'm gonna show you something. Read that.
And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him.
Right, you mean surrounded by a bunch of punk ass men. That's just what it is, man. We surrounded by a bunch of punk ass men. Men that will beat their wives but won't teach them the commandments. Men that'll lead their children and shoot their brethren but run when the white man show up. We surrounded by a bunch of punk ass men that turn guns sideways and shoot up the neighborhood, kill little kids, innocent bystanders, but they scared to say, hey, that they the son of the Most High. They scared to pick up the Bible. They scared to fight the true enemy, man. We surrounded by punk ass men. So you're gonna have to be strong in this thing, man. Read it again.
And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him.
Right, read.
Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine.
You see that? So David had no doubt. David had no fear. When everybody, they had this Philistine out there, he's defying the Most High and the Most High's army. He's saying whatever he want, and he getting away with it. And he got the rest of the Israelites trembling. But David was cut from a different cloth, man. Read on.
And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine.
He said, what?
Thou art not able to go against this Philistine.
Now, David knew the spirit that the Most High put in him. David knew that he could kill this Philistine. David knew that he had killed a lion. He had slew a bear. And this Philistine was nothing. But Saul was a coward. Watch what Saul say.
To fight with him.
Read from the top.
And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine.
You can't win.
To fight with him.
You can't win. You see that? You got to be careful of people trying to put their insecurities on you. The Lord said, no, you can't. Don't try to do that. Don't try to learn all them precepts. Hey, now when the police come, hey, pack it up and get the hell out of there. Get out of there. Now, you only supposed to be bold against your own people. Hey, but don't be out there trying to rebuke no police. That's not what God said. Do God, hey, only go so far. Hey, you got to watch out. A lot of people try to put what they're afraid to do, they'll try to put that on you, especially when they see you reaching towards the Most High in a way that they haven't seen. Don't let nobody put their insecurities on you. Read on.
For thou art but a youth.
Right, you too young. Read on.
And he a man of war from his youth.
Mm-hmm.
And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, but took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. Right,
so David was encouraged. David knew his ability, and David wasn't going to let nobody change his heart about that. You hear that, Judah?
Yeah.
Don't let nobody change your heart about what the Most High said you should do. The Most High said, what he say? He said Isaiah 58 and 1. Read that. Somebody give me that Isaiah 58:1, man. This is what we should be doing. This is what we should let no man detour us from. Because also, when I came into this truth, my family, even to this day, they ask me, we waiting on you to come back to Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Always trying to sow seeds of doubt. Even man in this truth, you shouldn't be doing that. You can't do that. You're doing too much. Just not knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put what they failed to do on you. Give me that Isaiah 58:1.
Isaiah chapter 58:1.
Give me that, Judah.
Cry loud, spare not.
The Most High said, cry loud and spare not.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Uh-huh.
And shew my people their transgressions.
You gotta show his people their transgressions, man.
And the house of Jacob their sins.
That's what we commanded to do. And how can you preach that when you don't live that? So you have to be strong and very courageous in keeping these commandments in the wicked and perverse and sinful generation. A generation that's full of everything that you see is full of lust and temptation, man. Either they want to tempt your eye, or they want to tempt your tongue, or they want to tempt your touch, man. They want to tempt your ear. Everything is perverted, man. Everything, man. Every single thing. And you surrounded by perverted people, man. Because doubt is perversion, man. Because Most High didn't give you that spirit, man. You have to be given that spirit. When a child is born, that child is fearless. A child is taught to be afraid. You got to teach a child to be afraid. Because the Most High gave that child a spirit of strength and boldness, courageous. Hey, I remember, David used to do some stuff. Oh my God, make your heart jump. And I hear your mom screech. And over time, David used to look. And over time, David began to be fearful. Because he was taught that. Just like all our mothers taught us to be fearful. Don't do that. You see? But keep reading. What else we got? Give me 38 and 39. 1 Samuel 17:38.
Okay. 17:38.
1 Samuel 17:38.
Okay, 17 and 38.
Right?
And Saul armed David with his armor.
Right.
And he put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail.
Why? So now he just said he couldn't do it. You too young, you too small, and you don't know war. But look, take this armor. And you got to see it through the spirit. What Saul was doing was saying the only way that you can win is if you use my tools. You use what I give you. So now you dealing with wicked people. When you survive and you pass these things that they said you would survive, then now they want the credit for you succeeding. That's why Saul gave David his armor. So if he did prevail, he could say, oh, you did it because of my armor. Hey, these people wicked as hell, man. They wicked as hell. Read on.
39. And David girded his sword upon his armor.
So he put it on. Okay. Put on the sword and breastplate, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, Saul was tall. David wasn't tall. So man, that's like you putting on my clothes. So he look, you know what I'm saying? He can't fit this stuff. Read on.
And he essayed to go, for he had not proved it.
He what?
For he had not proved
He
it.
said, I can't fight with this stuff. I can't fight with your insecurities that you trying to put on me, man. I know what to do. Hey, man, you take your baggage back.
Okay.
Let me do what I do. Just watch. Read on.
And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him.
Right.
And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones.
Hey, he didn't need much, man. That boy was cold, man. He didn't need much. Only thing he needed, give me 1 Samuel 17 and 47. Shanetta, give me Zechariah 4 and 6, man. Hey, you don't need all that, because then man can get glory. So since man not spiritual, he can't see the gifts and the strength and the power that the Most High gave you, because it's spiritual. Man think you need this, you need that, you need 1,000 men surrounding you or being behind you. But the Lord is with you, man. So fleshly, carnal thinking, man, he'll never understand. He'll never understand. Give me that.
1 Samuel 17 and 47.
Read that.
And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth, not with sword and spear.
But what?
For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hand.
You see that? So all these things are going to be done by the Spirit of the Most High. And the carnal man, the average man, he was a simple man. He wasn't on David's level. He didn't understand the things or nothing. He didn't understand. He didn't even understand what he was supposed to be doing. Because he was the one supposed to have been fighting that Philistine. But he was too cowardly. See that? Give me that, Shanetta.
Zechariah what?
4 and 6.
Zechariah 4 and 6.
Read that. You had a precept?
Says, then he answered and spake unto me, saying,
What did he say?
this is the word of the Lord.
This is what?
This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might,
Not by might,
nor by power,
nor by power,
but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts.
but by his Spirit. So it's not going to come by sword or staff. It's going to come by the Spirit of the Lord, man. It's going to come by dwelling in these precepts, keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. That's how you're going to overcome. That's how you're going to be able to maintain courage and strength in the fearful and weak generation. You're going to have to be grounded and rooted in this thing, man. You're going to have to fall in love with these precepts. It's going to have to be your everything. It's going to have to be nothing left without this, man. You had a precept, Joshua?
Yeah.
Bring it out.
1 Corinthians 2 and 14.
Read that.
But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
See, they can't understand. A lot of they can't understand because they're spiritually discerned, man. Give me 1 Samuel 17 and 55.
1 Samuel 17 and 55.
Read that.
And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistines,
Now he looking like, damn, the hell, who is this nigga? Read.
he said unto Amber, the captain of the host,
Read.
Amber, whose son is this youth?
Whose son is this man? Read.
And Amber said, as thou so liveth, O king, I cannot
I
tell.
don't know. Read on.
And the king said, inquire thou whose son the stripling is.
See that? See that, Judah? You gotta show, you gotta show these niggas they don't know you. Humbly speaking, you hear me, Jasper? Humbly speaking, that's just what it is. All around the board, these people gonna think they know you. They gonna try to hold you or normalize you. David showed them that they don't, you don't know me. You think you know me, but you don't. You don't know me. But I'm about to show you. Give me 1 Samuel 18 and 10.
1 Samuel 18 and 10.
Read.
And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand.
Now watch this after David done saved Saul's kingdom. Read.
As at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
Not only that, he's healing Saul. So David doing everything. David's being a brother. Saul don't like David because of who he is, man. Now first, he doubted and he disbelieved in David. It was proven and shown that he didn't know who David was. Now watch that doubt and disbelief turn into hate. You see? So this can happen right around you. Read, watch this.
11. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out his presence twice.
And what else?
And Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord was with him.
See that? That's messed up. Hey, it ain't nothing worse than someone turning on you who you help. You know what I'm saying? Someone sitting at your table, eating down with your family, then you find out this woman backstabbed you, betrayed you, speaking all types of evil and wickedness against you. Hey, that's what's happening here. These are things that David went through. Now he done helped David. David didn't want to be king. David just wanted to fight in the army of the Lord. David's heart was pure, but he had a man above him that hated him just because who he is. You got to be strong. Imagine how David felt. Imagine how he felt. He feared for his life. Damn, the king want to kill me. For what? For nothing. For nothing. Just because I'm being strong in the Lord, man. You see? Give me 1 John 4 and 18. Who got that? 1 John 4 and 18.
First John 4 and 18.
Read that.
There is no fear in love.
There's what?
There is no fear in love.
The Most High said, be strong. Ain't no fear. Ain't no fear in love. Right? You can't mix the, you can't, it's like water and oil. You can't have fear and love. Read on.
But perfect love casteth out fear.
You see that? Perfect love gonna cast away fear. You see that? Give me Revelation 21 and 8.
Revelations chapter 21 and verse 8.
Read that.
But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone.
Shall have their part in the lake that burneth with fire and brimstone. But read the first part of that.
But the fearful and unbelieving.
And the Most High said, if you afraid, I'm gonna kill you. If you doubt, I'm gonna kill you. You gotta be bold and very courageous, man. Give me 2nd Esdras 4 and 14. Man. Give me that.
Second Esdras 4 and 14. And said, come let us go and make war.
14 and 14?
Oh, 14.
Yeah.
2nd Esdras chapter 14 verse 14.
Read that.
Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man.
Right.
Put off now the weak nature.
Read it again.
Let go from thee mortal thoughts.
Right, mortal thoughts. The Most High said, let them go. You worried about what people got to say, what people think, what people doing, their opinion of you. Those are all mortal thoughts. Those are fleshly thoughts. That's that weak nature, man. You gotta let that go. If you're gonna be anything in the army of the Most High, you gotta be. What he told Jeremiah. Give me Jeremiah 1. Give me that, man. Give me Jeremiah 1. And let's go there. Hold on. Give me this Bible kind of weird, man. Hold on. Matter of fact, give me Ezekiel 3 and 8.
Ezekiel chapter 3. What? Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces.
Read.
And thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint, have I made thy forehead.
Read.
Fear them not.
What do you say?
Fear them not.
Fear them not, man. You're gonna face a lot of adversity in this thing, you know. Most High said, fear them not. That's what we at, man. It's not an easy road, man. You gotta have that you gotta have that sternness, man. You gotta have that. You can't care what people think, man. Because as soon as you do this, the people say they want that. And these people will never be satisfied, Joshua. It'll show you that. Watch this. Give me Matthew 11 and 18 real quick. Matthew 11 and 18. Give me that, Shanetta.
Matthew chapter 11, verse 18. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say, he he hath a devil.
Why? So they was complaining about John eating and drinking. Read on.
The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a man gluttonous and a winebibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children.
So it's Salaki. They was complaining about John not eating or drinking. He didn't come to the feast. I mean, he didn't, he didn't drink wine. But Yahweh Shai, he came to all the festivals and he drank wine. And they complained the same thing they complained about John not doing. They complained about Yahweh Shai when he did it. So it's just showing you like these people would never be satisfied. You can't set out this thing to satisfy man or be a man pleaser. Your first and foremost goal and your only goal should be to please the Most High. That's it. That's gonna take a lot of strength, man. It's gonna take a lot of strength because words have power, man. Words have a lot of power, man. People say that words can't harm you, but words can kill you if you're not armored up, man. So that's go ahead. That's the whole meaning of this. I have to show y'all how many times the Most High commanded us to be strong and what it's gonna take. And how many people are gonna try to change what the Most High told you to do. But the Most High is watching to see if you keep the path. Give me a Deuteronomy 8:2. Everything is a test, man. It's always been a test. And this one of my favorite scriptures, man. Give me Deuteronomy 8:2. And after that, give me your precept.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2.
Read that.
And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, and to know what was in thine heart.
Y'all see that? So the Most High, you know what the Most High said to do. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 real quick. All right?
Ecclesiastes chapter, what? You told me to. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
Read that.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
That's our duty. Read.
For this is the whole duty of men.
So that's the test. Are you going to fear him and keep his commandments in the midst of this wicked and perverse generation? Are you going to be bold or are you going to shout down? You going to be on fire or you going to let them doubt you? This is the test. The angels and the Most High are watching. They're recording everything. Right? Give me that. Finish that off. So now what you had. You had
Deuteronomy 8:2.
Yeah. Give me 3.
Did you want the rest of 2?
Yeah, give me the rest of 2.
To humble thee and to prove thee, and to know what was in thine heart.
To know what's in your heart. Read.
Whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
Or no. To know what's in your heart, man. The Most High is proving us, man. He's proving his friends, man. Will you give me Psalms 94 and 16. Will you stand up for the Most High? Will you speak up for him? Give me Ezekiel 22 and 30, Judy.
16?
Yeah, give me Psalms 94 and 16.
Okay.
Hey, if I wasn't around, somebody was dogging me, would you stand up for me?
Yeah.
That's the test. Well, will you do it for the Most High?
Yeah.
Will you do it for the Most High?
Yeah.
Because they're dragging his name in the dirt. They're dragging the name of Yahweh Shai in the dirt, the name of his people in the dirt. Will you stand up for the Most High boldly? Will you do it?
Yeah.
Or will you be fearful? Give me that.
Psalms 94 and 16.
Read.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
The Most High is looking for his friends. Will you fight for me? Will you fight for me? And when he's saying stand up, he's talking about rising up. He ain't talking about just getting out your seat and standing up. He's talking about rising up, man. He's talking about making a decision, man. Hey, this is what needs to be done. And there's no man to do it. I got to do it. Get that Ezekiel 22 and 30.
Ezekiel 22 and verse 30.
Read that.
And I sought for a man
The
among
Most High said he was looking for a man. Read it again.
And I sought for a man among them,
Read.
that I should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me,
Right.
for the land,
Right?
that I should not destroy it. But I found none.
But what?
But I found
The
none.
Most High said he was searching for a man. You got all these Christian pastors talking about they love the Lord. You got all these wicked so-called prophets talking about they love the Lord. Hey, but the Most High said, I sought for a man, but I found none. We not doing this because we're desiring popularity or fame. We rose up because nobody else would. That's why we do the things that we do, because we are friends of the Most High, and we can see that no man is standing, especially in this area. It ain't nobody out here prophesying the true word of the Most High. From here to Elkhart to all the way the nearest city that you can go to and find a group of Israelites, Israelite camp, you got to drive 2 hours. You know, it's thousands of men. It's thousands upon thousands of men in this city. But ain't nobody out there prophesying. Ain't nobody out there uplifting their people. Ain't nobody out here casting down this wicked ass country, man. And you know, y'all know that we're 45 minutes away from where the Ku Klux Klan was formed. So they probably look at the videos and they, well, why? No, we're right where it started at. We facing different type of demons, man. We right where it started at. This is where the KKK damn started. You gotta be very courageous and bold. Now you may be able to talk that talk over there in New York and they might not do nothing to you. You get effed up around here. It's a different type of spirit, man. That's why when the police come around here, the niggas, they get to scattering. You don't see that at other places, man. You see, hey, they tell the cops, get out of here, scram. It's not like that here, man. Give me 2nd Ezra 14 and 14. Finish that, Shanata.
2nd Ezra 14 and 14.
Give me that.
Let go from the immortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man.
Right?
Put off now the weak nature.
That weak ass shit. If you worried about what somebody else got to say from you about you, you're weak.
And fake.
The Most High said, put off from you that weak nature. Joshua, don't give a damn with nobody. If you keeping these law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, Trinity, don't never give a damn what anybody got to say about you or think or feel. Put off that weak nature. You hear me, Judah?
Yeah.
You can't, never give a damn. The Most High, Yahweh Shah was a stern man. He didn't care. He heard that they was calling him Beelzebub. Beelzebub, the devil. It didn't stop him. Finish that. Down to 15.
Verse 15. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee.
Right.
And haste thee to be free from these times.
Right. Hey, them heavy thoughts, man, it's more than paying the bills. The most heaviest thoughts are insecurities. Those are the heaviest thoughts, man. The thoughts of fear, the doubt, depression, anxiety, insecurity. Will I be accepted? That's what all these people, they want to know. Will I be accepted? Hey man, cast that away from you. Don't desire that. It's a stumbling block. All the prophets were outcasts. Yahweh Shah was an outcast amongst his own people. Right? Get that, Isaiah 53 and 2. Yahweh, this is one of my other favorite scriptures. The Most High said, and give me that, Shanetta. The world hated you because they hated me first, man. So you gotta be strong in this thing, man. Give me Isaiah 53 and 2.
Isaiah 53 and 2.
Read that.
For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground.
Read.
He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire.
Hey, when we see the Messiah, and we're gonna turn our backs on him. We're not gonna embrace him. We didn't embrace our King, man. Read.
He is despised and rejected of men.
On the other side of the coin, he was despised and rejected of men. Right? Read on.
A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
You see that? So he had to cast these things away. Those heavy thoughts, those heavy burdens. Right? It said, man, he got to the point where the angels had to come ministering to him. Hey, Yahweh Shah was going through some things, man. All the things that we suffer, he had to suffer. All the things that we know, he knew. This is real life stuff here. This is real life stuff. Read on.
And we hid, as it were, our faces from him.
Right, we turned our back from him, just like they turned their back on you. The same thing that you went through, Yahweh went through. Don't think it to be strange. Yahweh was a man. He cried. He bled. He felt pain. He laughed. You see? He went through this stuff. Read on.
He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
He was despised. Read on.
Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows.
That was it on that. So give me that. Give me the rest of that.
What did you want? Did you want?
Give me Romans, what was that the rest on Sirach? Did you go down to 2nd Ezra 14 and 15? Give me.
Did you want the world?
Yeah, give me that's what I want. What's that, John?
John 15
And
and
2?
That's
18.
18, read me that.
John 15 and 18. If the world hates you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
Right. Read.
And if ye were of the world would love his own.
Hey, if you was of the world, you would be popular. Hey, if you came up with some type of nasty, womanly rap, hey, you would be famous overnight. If you could come up with the most nastiest, most defiling, disgusting thing, hey, that so-called black woman could wear, hey, you'd be famous overnight. If you can make a rap talking about killing your brother is more crafty than the next man, hey, you'd be rich overnight. If you were of the world, they will love you. But since we condemn the world, we condemn those things, and we shine light where the darkness is, and they hate you. Read on.
Because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore the world hateth you.
Read on.
Remember the word that I said unto you.
Read.
The servant is not greater than his Lord.
Hey, you're not greater than Yahweh. Read.
If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
Are you ready, man? That's the question, Trinity. Are you ready? Are you ready to be different? Are you ready to be different, or will you be the same? Will you be ashamed of your father? You see? Will you be ashamed of Yahweh on this earth in front of these men? Somebody give me that. What you have? Give me that.
1 John 2 and 15.
Read that.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Hey, if you love the world, you can't love God. No man can have two masters, man. Don't get that mistaken, man. You had that, Shanetta?
I'm getting it. I'm looking for it.
What I call?
I had a precept.
You saying Romans?
Bring out your precept.
Proverbs 18 and 21.
Read that.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue,
Yeah.
and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
You see that? Don't think if you're not girded or protected right in the spirit, hey, what people say won't affect you. It could be somebody on the other side of the town talking about you like a dog. And then all of a sudden, and you feel a dark cloud over you. All of a sudden your spirit start feeling down. Hey, because words have power. Words have a lot of power. Just like it could be somebody in Texas and they're praying for you. They went on a fast and they're praying for you because the effectual fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. And they're praying for you through the spirit. All of a sudden you feel strengthened. You feel might, man. I felt walking in somebody's prayers. I felt that before. Okay, somebody praying for me. You feel that, just like you can just say it. They tell you the walls talk. The walls talk, man. You can hear the unsaid. You can hear what's being spoken about you while you're not there, and it has an effect on you. That's why you have to be girded up, man. You have to know these things happen, man. You have to know that everything that we're doing is very spiritual. And if you walk into this thing thinking that it's about wearing fringes and head wraps, and you're gonna be devoured. You gotta know about the things that they don't talk about. You gotta know about the demonic forces. You gotta know about the people that know your face. You gotta know about the people that's talking about you. You gotta know about the curses that's being sent and the wickedness that's being spoken about you because you choose to keep these law, statutes, commandments. And it's a real war. It's a real war, and it's not against flesh and blood. Give me that, Shanetta. Just give me Romans 14 and 23. Romans 14 and 23. in John 16 and 8.
Romans 14 and
We're going to
23.
talk about being afraid, man. And being bold. Read.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of the faith. For whatsoever is not of the faith is sin.
Read. Whatsoever is, read that from the top.
And he that doubteth is damned.
If you start doubting, because, man, I'm trying to tell you that, hey, you sure? You sure about this Israelite stuff? There's a whole bunch of things that's coming against us now. You got pastors, hey, making big board meetings, hey, your family members. All these things going, hey, you try to stand up, hey, breaking that down wrong. He not in the spirit, she's not in the spirit. Hey, they gonna fall out the truth. All these things, man. All these things. And hey, man, it's a wicked game, man. It's a wicked game. Don't think that it's this game gonna be played fairly. It's not gonna be played fair. Read that from the top.
And he that doubteth is damned
Hey,
if
don't
he
doubt. Never doubt. Read.
because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Hey, you see that? Give me John 16 and 8. This is the sin of the world. This is the sin of the world, man. Because they don't believe.
Wait, what was that again?
John 16 and 8.
I got it. John 16 and 8.
Give me that.
And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin.
He's gonna, when the Yahweh Shah come back, he's gonna reprove the world of sin. Why? Watch this. Listen.
And of righteousness and of judgment.
Read.
Of sin, because they believe not on me.
You see that? So doubt and disbelief, the Most High is going to destroy a lot of people. Of sin, because they believe not on me. Because if you believe, you're going to obey. If you believe, you're going to obey. Give me Acts 5 and 32 real quick.
Acts 5 and 32.
Read that.
And we are his witnesses of these things, and so is also the Holy Ghost, whom God hath given them that obey him.
Read it from the top.
Acts 5 and 32.
Read that.
And we are his witnesses of these things, and so is the Holy Ghost, whom God hath given them that obey him.
You see that? So the Spirit, the Most High said, not by spirit, not by strength or by might, but by my Spirit. So you get this Spirit by obedience. So the Scripture's going to keep telling you the same thing. You know, you're going to have some people fall asleep. You're going to have some people on the edge of their seat. Hey, some going to live, some going to die. You see, all these things going to come to pass, man. But the key is, like in Matthew 24 and 14, the word must go out. Everybody must hear, so everybody has a chance. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have, we're all coming into situations where you're going to have the opportunity to fear or believe. We come into a time where they're going to tell you you can't have food unless you take this mark, man. You can't have food unless you convert over to their demonic system. Now you can be fearful or you can have strength, man. These times always happen. It happened with Daniel. It happened with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It happened with Yahweh Shah. It's going to happen with us, man. And even now it's happening. It's happening now. There's a lot of people falling away from this thing because they're slowly doubting. You're slowly turning into disbelief. You don't believe. You don't believe that the Most High is watching you. You don't believe that the angels are recording all your steps, all your tracks, all your thoughts, and every idle word is going to be brought to judgment. The people don't believe that. They don't believe that, man. That's what Yahweh's name is. I exist. They don't believe he exists. And that's why when Yahweh Shah come back, he said, read that again. That's going to be the sin of the world. That they don't believe that Yahweh exists. Give me that John 16 and 8 and 9. Shanetta?
Okay. John 16, 8 and 9.
Read.
And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. Of sin, because they believe not on me.
Of sin, because they believe not on me. This is the sin of the world. Give me 1 John 3 and 23.
1 John 3 and 23.
Read that.
And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his Son,
Hey, we should believe. Read.
Jesus Christ, and love one another, as he gave us commandment.
Right. Read.
And he that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him.
Right.
And hereby we know that he abideth in us,
Right.
by the Spirit which he hath given us.
The spirit. That spirit of might, of power. That spirit to keep the commandments. You see what I'm saying? Give me 1 Timothy 1 and 7. 1 and 7. Judah, give me Genesis 3 and 9.
First Timothy 1 and 7.
Yeah.
1 Timothy 1 and 7. Desiring to be teachers of the law.
1 Timothy 1 and 7? Give me 1 and 7. Hold on real quick. Give me 1 Timothy. Hold on. Second Timothy 1 and 7. Colossians.
Second Timothy 1 and 7.
Give me that.
For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Why? So fear didn't come from the Most High. You didn't get that. You didn't get that spirit in you to start disobeying commands, man. That came from somewhere else. You watched it from Babylon. You heard it from a friend, from a wicked family member. And that spirit came from you from an outside source. Give me Genesis 3 and 9.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and verse 9.
Read.
And the Lord called unto Adam and said, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because
you see that? That's the first thing Adam said. He said, I was afraid. Now watch this. Keep going.
Because I was naked. And he said, I heard.
Right.
And he said, I heard that voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
Who told you was naked? Who gave you that fault? Who sold you? Who sold that fear in you? You see what I'm saying? Like we talked about before, children have to be, because they was innocent. He was taught fear. Who told you was naked, man? Who gave you that false doctrine? How do you start believing that? Why don't you believe what I taught you? What happened? What happened, man? Read on.
And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
That was it on that. Give me Proverbs 21 and 8.
Proverbs, chapter 21 and 8.
Read that.
The way of a man is forward and strange.
28 and 1? 28 and 1?
You said 21 and 8.
You said 21 and
Oh,
8.
it's a lot.
28 and 1.
It's a lot.
I got it.
Give me that.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, and verse 1.
Read that.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion.
We got to get back to our former state, man. It says the righteous are what?
As bold as a lion.
As bold as a
The
lion.
righteous are as bold as a lion, man. We got to get back to our former state, man. You afraid to keep commandments? You afraid of this wicked, perverse generation? You afraid what people got to say? Hey, the righteous are as bold as a lion. A lion don't give a damn. If you laugh at him, that lion know he'll eat you. That lion will take your life if he wants to. You can't do nothing with that lion. He's majestic, man. He's the ruler. And that's how the righteous should be. You should be bold as a lion, man. Nothing should make you afraid. Nothing. Give me Proverbs 4:23.
Proverbs 4:23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Right. So now we're gonna get into the power of the tongue. Hey, you gotta guard your heart. Your heart is what?
Your mind.
Your mind. You gotta guard your mind, man. Why do you have to guard your mind? Why did the Most High say guard your mind? Why? And because we always under attack, man. These evil and wicked words that people send. That's what it is, man. You have to be aware of it, Jess. It's people speaking against you. It's people speaking against this family. Even now. It's people speaking against you, David. And you gotta guard your mind. How do you guard your mind? You gotta be in these precepts day and night. That is your defense, man. Faith is your defense. Faith is your defense. When you start doubting, hey man, you on your way down. Give me Exodus 3:13. You gotta guard your mind from doubt.
Exodus 3:13.
And disbelief. Read.
And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your children of Israel, the God of your fathers hath sent me unto you.
Read.
And they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel,
Right.
I am hath sent me unto you.
You see that? Read it one more time.
Okay. And Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them?
You see that? So the people won't always doubt. They're not going to believe. The Most High sends you with a message, and they're going to always question that. They're going to always question you. What's his name? Prove it. Prove it. He ain't sent you. He ain't sent you. The Most High said, I am that I exist. That's all you tell them. I exist. Yahweh. But,
Like Miriam, when she doubted that
come on.
Most High was using Moses.
Come on. And I'm showing y'all that's all you're going to ever be surrounded by. That's all you're going, and you can't let this type of stuff have an effect on you, man. Give me Matthew